What up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out episodes 5 and 6 of Daredevil Born Again. Today's a double drop.
Double drop in the middle of the season, which is kind of interesting because we had the double drop at the beginning of the season, which I mean, that's like normal sometimes, but like in the middle.
That could be a couple of different reasons as to why they chose to do that. I would think that there's definitely the reason of Andor starting next month. They definitely want to finish the show before that because I don't think they've ever had a flagship show for Disney Plus air simultaneously with another one. It's always usually one, then the next one. But it could also be, you know, the aspect of the show being reshot. And I want to say I heard at some point in time that specifically the last few episodes of this show had more of the content that was reshot. So a lot of the stuff that we had seen up to this point may have been just stuff that was originally in the first iteration of this show, or a first attempt at this show, maybe mixed around with some other stuff. I actually think that this show was originally supposed to be like 18 episodes, which is kind of crazy to think about because now we're down to 9. But I will say last episode was not my favorite, to be honest. I thought it was pretty boring, honestly, in the first half. I thought it did pick up once we got to see Punisher, but I do think it was kind of just like out of nowhere. It just kind of didn't really make sense to me that, okay, he knew exactly where Frank was after he found this shell. And I just thought that was a little weird, but I mean, it was still a good scene between them. I'm glad he's definitely back in the show now. And obviously we talked about this at length with like the idea and concept behind the show is these two men, specifically Matt and Kingpin, dealing with their inner struggles and who they want to be versus who they actually are. And we got to see a little bit of that come out at the end of the last episode with Matt up on his roof, like, you know, doing all his Daredevil stuff. And then obviously Kingpin having Adam locked up in a cell. So I feel like we're probably going to see more of that. It's going to be a little, I don't know if it's going to be a trickle anymore at this point. Maybe the lever has just been pulled and the dam is just going to flood out, or maybe there might be something else that really pushes them forward. But if you want to have access to our full-length reactions to Daredevil, where you take a copy of your episode, sync it up with us, and watch it from beginning to end with no cuts, you can do so by checking out our Patreon. And don't forget to check out our second channel, Casey and Anthony. That's where we post all of our vlog content. Insert reactions for episode 5 are only going to be available exclusively on Patreon because we watched that episode and not much happened in that episode. So here's episode 6.
Kind of looks like a swordsman. Swordsman, if you're watching this, keep doing the good work because our cops here, they don't really do much, so.
Wasn't that character dating like Hawkeye? Not Hawkeye, but what's her face's mom in Hawkeye?
Oh!
Haley Steinfeld's, yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone kept calling him swordsman, but like, I know he had a sword in it, but he never actually did anything.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, was that the guy that I think y'all's comment said Muse was his name?
It looked like the eye pattern.
Thou didst establish St. Ives as a judge in the midst of his brethren, making him a friend and advocate of the poor. Amen.
What are you doing?
Praying.
You know, just checking in.
You pray? Still?
Still? What's up with that?
He doesn't know his religion?
Matt, you were a victim of a crime.
Sure, I understand.
For me, one of the problems in the relationship is that it's just like he's not himself, you know?
To me, this relationship's so hollow and I don't like it.
Early patient this morning?
I'm meeting with my editor, remember?
Oh, that's right, the congratulatory breakfast.
I can unfortunately see Kingpin killing her.
Hopefully.
But, oh my gosh. I just feel like they're gonna tell her something she's not supposed to hear in therapy, and then he'll tie up loose ends.
You need to give Victor the 1.8, and I'll give you until the end of the week.
You can shove that 1.8 up your ass.
Oh, you're probably gonna die too.
Make it 2.8. 1.8
Oh.
to Victor, and the balance to me.
Oh, I thought he was gonna like stab him.
Does a mask allow us to be our true selves, or does it strip away our identity and allow us to act like animals?
If only you knew who you were really talking to.
You have experience with those people?
I am those people.
You've got to the end of the week. Your time's up.
And then you die.
See you, Fisk. Give your wife my regards.
Please show him out.
Don't talk about his wife.
How about Daredevil? You've worked with him, right?
This relationship is founded on lies.
This is John Santini from Sanitation.
See, the mural, it's made with this epoxy, so I had to do a chemical analysis. So then I had to get this special solvent.
Johnny.
for my...
Say less.
Tell him what you told me.
Oh, right, it's blood. The mural, it's made out of human blood.
Is it that guy?
Oh, that would make sense.
Muse. If that's his name, he's an artist. We saw like little drawings and stuff
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And he was taking their blood.
To use to paint?
I was hoping to talk to Mr. Murdoch.
Of course, yeah, come in.
He was onto something, Matt. He was investigating something.
Was it Muse?
This is what he would have wanted. Someone finishing his work.
Like you?
Therapy talk. Was I doing that?
Straight up. And I hate that shit.
Kinda hate it too.
He's dating a therapist.
I'm just a lawyer, all right? I tried to help your uncle in court, but something like this, that's for the police.
I'm not going to them.
All right, fair enough. But what do you want me to do about it?
The problem is, it's like you don't really have like a whole lot of evidence so far.
5 unique DNA profiles for each mural, and in 5 DNA profiles per mural, we estimate at least 60 victims.
60?
Testing is underway on what we now suspect may be some earlier pieces in his evolution.
He's wild. But is that his whole entire motivation, is just to get them for their blood for his artwork? I must paint! Ooh.
He's gonna snap.
He laughed.
Sound an alarm, and he could lay low for a while. Not a single word leaves this room.
He knows how villains work.
When the sanitation department figures out there's a serial killer before the NYPD does, maybe it's time to switch up the protocol.
Wow. So he's like, let's use this. Is this him?
Hey, are you Muse?
Wait, he's known?
Is it cool if we take a picture of you?
But they don't know what he uses. They just think he's an artist, I guess, like a street artist.
Okay, well, his next painting.
Don't approach Muse. Do not approach Muse.
Luca came to see me. He has no intentions of paying his debt. I added $1 million tax to his bill.
That he's still not gonna pay?
I don't need Victor to like it. I need him to want it. Find what a person wants and either withhold it or provide it.
He always finds people's weaknesses and uses it against them.
It's like selling a Basquiat to a billionaire.
It is a curious first endeavor you've identified, Wilson.
This port project.
It's like not so easy when you can't just threaten their loved ones like he used to do.
By simply being there and asking them for money, you're giving them all they care about.
Donors. Oh, there he is.
This project simply doesn't align with our interests.
Start threatening them.
You've made a substantial amount of your fortune around the port, haven't you? I'm saying your port expansion project is a self-serving con, Mr. Mayor.
He just doesn't have the same like command he used to because it's like a different ball game.
You may have a seat at the table right now. For a couple of years anyway. But the people in this room still decide who gets to eat. I suggest you don't lose sight of that.
I feel like little things are just like picking at him like over time, and eventually it's gonna be the last straw, and I don't know what he's gonna do.
Oh,
he's gaining weight.
It seems my suits aren't fitting like they were.
It's all that pasta in the last episode.
Working late.
Because he's a singer. Uh-oh. Why is he stressed?
I'm guessing it's about Muse.
Oh.
I got a call from my guy at the precinct. Said there's a serial killer out there. They're going to a DEF CON scenario.
How many victims?
Upwards of 60, so they say.
That is like so much.
Goes by the name Muse. He paints with his victims' blood. You gotta let this one go. Just let the police do their jobs.
This is what's finally gonna drive him over the edge.
These people are like parasites.
There's something you need to see.
Is there a new painting?
Show it to Vanessa. She loves art.
She's like, priceless. I'll take 2.
These came straight from the forensic teams.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even see the bodies. How did I miss that? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. He's like making his art more immersive. That was a weird thing to say.
Interactive art display.
Oh my gosh.
A task force. Handpicked by me.
Oh, these are the guys.
Oh.
Or at least that first guy.
Officers have a subculture amongst them. People like to use the word gang. I prefer motivated individuals.
So he's putting his own little team together. He does like to get like groups of law enforcement under his
The
wing.
city is in a crisis. A serial killer is roaming our streets. He needs to be stopped.
He needs to be punished.
Why us?
You're victims of bad luck.
Oh, he's using it.
Yeah. Manipulation.
This is like what he does. I like when he does this though. It's fun as a villain.
I was responding to a call, possible drug activity in the park. Upon my arrival, I saw a guy hand an 11-year-old some oxy. The guy denied everything.
Oh my gosh.
So I encouraged him to tell the truth.
Beat his ass.
There's a lot of shitbags in the world, sir. Man, there's a lot less of them.
It's gonna be his own personal militia.
Mm-hmm. They're the ones who tend to take things into their own hands outside the books.
But now they're getting the okay to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. I brought you here because of your skills, because of your ability to get results. Consider yourself founding members of my anti-vigilante task force.
This is like actually exciting to see him like becoming Kingpin again, like in his ways.
This killer Muse, he wears a mask. That's because he's afraid. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to show your face because you are New York's finest. And this city is yours.
Wow, he's hyping him up.
And you're not gonna let some mass criminals take it away from you. Isn't that right?
Wow.
It's like a halftime speech.
Uh-huh. There we go. He has some people now to do stuff for him. Because before it's like he couldn't really get anything done because it's like, you know, he had to go through all these things. And now it's like, okay, we could do this kind of like...
Off the books.
Off the books, on the low.
Oh, she's gonna get killed.
She's trying to investigate, but like, oh no. I hope you don't become a painting.
Call from Ayala.
Hello?
Matt, it's Soledad. I'm sorry to call you so late.
No, Soledad, it's fine. What's going on?
She's not home.
She still hasn't come home. That's not like her. She's never done this before. I didn't know who else to call. She's never...
It's okay. Soledad, it's okay. Just stay where you are.
But maybe going looking for her will lead him to Muse.
He's putting on the suit.
Kingpin took off his
mask
and he's gonna put his on. Duality.
911, what's your emergency? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, he is. He's like, okay, I can't trust anybody. I can't trust the police. I gotta glue my horn on. No. Oh my gosh, he already got her. Oh my gosh.
He's gonna get there. He didn't put on the suit for nothing.
Ah. He's creepy, but also I'm like so intrigued by his character and his plotline.
It's honestly probably the most intriguing thing in the show so far, to be honest.
Yeah, that's like the thing I'm like looking forward to the most is like learning about Muse and why he's so crazy.
He didn't have to go looking for her.
I know. He's like, ah.
Fresh paint.
Paint!
Wow.
But was that? It might have not been like a death.
That's draining blood, so I mean, if he still shows up... Oh shit, is he about to go kill Adam?
Oh!
They're both fucking stepping out.
This is like, I think like not breaking point episode, like a
pivot.
Jumping off the ledge, I guess. That also was a bad analogy, I don't know. Turning point, there we go. He didn't bring that axe for nothing.
I can imagine that Vanessa would like for me to let you go.
But...
Ugh, that's not happening.
But that's a difficult thing for me to do. You understand that, right?
I'll let you go in pieces.
I went up against men 3 times my size. Men who knew how to use their hands. They did so, often.
Was he gonna take his hands? She liked his hands.
Oh!
A simple tool. It can be a great equalizer.
Wow. Oh!
Oh,
wait.
He's giving him a chance.
Oh, okay, well that's interesting also. I mean, she could still survive so far.
He's just emo and misunderstood.
It's just art, you wouldn't understand. Here he is!
Now, are you a good fighter or are you just a painter?
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
You haven't got a good hit on him yet, so
Okay,
he might just be a painter. I mean, is that gonna be it for him?
Oh my gosh. Oh!
Yeah, finally!
I like how he gave him the axe, like, okay, I can tell Vanessa I gave you a chance at least.
You fought for your hands.
Okay, well, he's came back around, but she's becoming anemic over here. Did he even know she was married? Because that would kind of suck if he didn't. Like, he's like, oh my gosh, I went on a bad date one time.
It's like, no, my paint.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
It's like I haven't done this in a while.
He's like getting it all out. They're both letting it all out right now. All this stuff that's been bottled in.
Adam and Muse. They're their canvas. Finish him!
Wow. Oh my god. Is he gonna take off the mask?
I mean, he's not gonna kill him.
He will.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is he?
I don't think he will. He's gonna let him go.
He'll look at her and then be like,
oh, her
oh
heartbeat
my
stopped.
gosh. Okay, it was.
In the midst of his brethren, making him a friend and advocate of the poor.
Oh.
I don't think she's gonna die though.
Yeah.
And confident in that merciful goodness.
Is Adam not dead?
Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit.
There she goes.
I didn't realize how close she had gotten. Like how much blood she had lost. Oh my gosh. He's still alive so far, but does he feel peace again?
Oh, you let him get away.
Oh.
I mean, that's good for the plot. I want to see him
Yeah.
out there causing chaos.
Oh my gosh, he looks almost like euphoric, I think? Or is he? I actually can't fully tell. Sometimes I can't read his emotions.
It's okay, I'm here. I'm here.
Vigilantes are back on.
Okay, much better episode than the previous one. Like I said, the first episode didn't even seem like it needed to be made, in my opinion. It didn't advance the plot at all. It just kind of went on a little side quest. Now we got right back into where we left off in the last episode with Muse. Muse is a very interesting character. I want to know more about him, and I'm kind of glad that he got away because I do want to see him out on the streets causing chaos. And now I feel like he's going to be even more pissed.
I feel like that was probably my favorite episode so far, but like I also can't fully remember. But like I think right now, off of the top of my head, I feel like this was probably my favorite episode so far. Honestly, I really love the Muse plotline. Like he's such an interesting character. I also love kind of seeing Kingpin and Daredevil both. Like this was like, okay, the turning point. Like they're really coming back to themselves here, and like you kind of saw them go through it. But like especially seeing Kingpin,
yeah,
it's cool to see him kind of like be the villain that he is, because I think he's just such a great villain. It's cool to see him be the villain.
Yeah, and in this episode we saw him get his little militia.
Yeah.
We've seen him use people and, you know, manipulate them, and we saw how it just felt weird, you know, when he was like trying to talk to like these donors and trying to get them to do what he wanted them to do, and they just weren't having it. And that's not a position that he's used to being in. He's used to getting his way. He's used to manipulating people. And he mentioned it with Vanessa about the guy who didn't want to pay the other guy. He's like, okay, we have to find what they want and withhold it from them or give it to them in order to get them to do what he wants them to do, which is always what he's done. He's great at manipulating people. I wanted to see him kill Adam, but maybe he's just going to come and beat his ass again a little bit later. Who knows? Now that they've both crossed the Rubicon, I feel like there is no going back, and it's only going to intensify as they go forward. I think we're going to see a lot more of Daredevil, obviously, because he's not going to not put the suit back on, especially with Muse being gone. And now that Kingpin has his little guys that are going off doing whatever he wants them to do, hunting Muse, actually, I think it's going to prove to be pretty interesting what the guys on the streets are really going to do besides finding Muse. But I kind of feel like they're going to cause havoc. I don't think it's just going to be Muse. I feel like they're taking this as like a green means go in terms of like all crime. So maybe that's how Frank gets back involved and he starts getting mad, because I bet you they're going to be spraying the Punisher emblem on them or something. They're going to be repping it. But yeah, I think this was my favorite episode as well, too.
And this also just makes me excited to see how the rest of the show is going to go, like now at this point in the story.
Yeah, I said it before that I'm pretty sure these last few episodes were the episodes that had a lot more tweaks, or if not just tweaks. I feel like these first few are the ones that had the tweaks, and then the back half of the season was supposed to be where like the new material was inserted. So I'm excited to see what they did with it. I feel like hopefully we kind of get away from like the slower pacing now, especially now that these two characters in Kingpin and Matt have like crossed the Rubicon. Like I said, I don't feel like there's a slowdown period. I feel like it should only ramp up from here, hopefully. But like I said before the episode, if you want to have access to our full-length reactions of Daredevil, where you take a copy of your episode, sync it up with us, and watch it from beginning to end with no cuts, you can do so by checking out our Patreon, and the link is down below.